Okay, guys, you guys look good.
Yay!
Yo, what up? It's my friend Cassie, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about adulting and self-development with substance, purpose, and growth. So if you can relate, subscribe to the tribe. Okay, so I'm super excited about today's episode because this is our very first #YoungProInspo, and I have a couple of girls here that are super awesome, very creative, badass women in the cannabis connoisseur industry. And without further ado, ladies of paradise, Harley and Jade. Hi! Yeah! Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for being on my show.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
So, are you guys excited about your launch that is coming up?
Oh, yeah. We've got 3 days left to really solidify all the details, but everything's lined up and it's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited for you guys. You guys have so many creative, you got your clothing line and you have your shop and you have your creative industry, which is also what I wanted to ask you. Is the question I've been kind of curious to know. How do I define ladies of paradise? Because a lot of people ask me, like, oh, those people are so cool. They'll, like, tag me in something and be like, oh, are they your friends? And I'm like, yeah, but what are they? How do I define ladies of paradise?
So, all in all, we're a creative agency. Okay. And that's kind of, like, the umbrella of, like, all these different things that we do. Yeah, they do underneath it. So, we help brands really, like, with their vision. It could be videography, photography, packaging, branding, just, like, anything, really. And content creation. But then the store is something that came after that. We were initially just looking for studio space to shoot and work with our clients on monthly, content development. And so the store became, the space became available, and we were like, okay, we could really use this space as a retail place to showcase like a lot of the brands that we work with, a lot of brands that we love, and then we also carry a lot of women-owned brands, so we like to support women who are
so it started off as a studio, and then when shortly after you were like, well, let's just throw in some of our stuff in there.
Well, the space was so huge, and we both had we talked about having a store for a completely different thing years earlier. That's something that we both really wanted, and so we're like, okay, if we can support all these different women and basically pay for this space just through that, then we can have a free photography studio and office and focus on our creativity.
Oh, that's so genius. Just putting it all together.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So to go back, how did you guys start together?
Well, we met on Instagram.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
It's so funny because so all of the girls that we work with now, except for Keisha and Harley were friends before, but we all met on Instagram and but yeah,
it's a tool.
We just I moved to Oregon. I needed somebody to shoot with, and I found Harley. And she ended up living 3 blocks away from me, and I thought she lived in the tiniest town. Yeah, in a 3,000 person town. So
which town was that?
Jacksonville, Oregon.
Jacksonville, Oregon. Well, I've never been there, but I know lots of people like to go.
It's a cool space. It is really cool. Yeah. It's a really historic.
When did
really
you guys move up to Portland?
2 years ago. Yeah. Actually, 3. 2 years ago, almost today or tomorrow. It was February 14th. Yeah, February 10th.
My gosh.
Which is actually
anniversary, guys. Oh my god. Aww. Okay, well so did Ladies of Paradise start down there or up here?
Down there. So Ladies of Paradise was a jewelry and accessory company before we relaunched it as a cannabis company. So in 2017, Harley and I did a big rebrand, relaunch, and started focusing on shooting in cannabis farms and really highlighting women in the cannabis space who are doing really badass things.
That's awesome. So that whole journey of the past couple of years, you guys have built this amazing pioneering creative agency with a little bit of everything.
Totally,
that's so cool. Oh my gosh.
A lot going on.
I've never actually really asked you guys that question, and I'm just I just want to hang out.
All the time we're so what do you guys do? That's the thing is we kind of have really pride ourselves on being the willingness to take on different things, and if that means hiring on different people to help with that project or whatever, we really want to try to be able to do anything, really. And since we love to work with people so much, it works out really well.
Yeah, you guys have built a pretty awesome team. So just curious, who's on your team? I know Leanna.
So Leanna's our event coordinator. Keisha is my creative assistant. Alicia is our graphic designer. I don't know if you've met her yet. She's amazing.
I heard good things.
She's incredible. And then Kiki, she's one of our sales associates here, and then she also models for us as well.
Okay, I think I've met her at an event.
She's incredible. She's great. Yeah.
Okay. What does each person bring to the table?
So much, actually. Like, so many people wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Like, Keisha is her creative assistant, and she does like set design and also and like styling. But then she's also our store manager, and she also runs her social media. So
she's just wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, she really does. I mean, we try to take turns, and we'll like all like help out with the social media, but for the most part, it's Keisha. Yeah. And then Alicia is our graphic designer, but she's also really great at creative, like building, like set design, and like she helps Harley with.
We should maybe show your people our tentacle.
Oh yeah.
Literally, she made this. You're right over there.
It's like so you know we do sets for our parties.
Yes.
So this was for
this is a tentacle.
So cool. Sequined, pink. She made this out of like foam and fabric, and then like cardboard on the back.
I know, right? We're like, so we're gonna put this in the store afterwards.
Yeah. How much?
So yeah, she like can build things, and she's just very creative. So she helps.
She's been like teaching me about different like videography and photography things. She's like insanely creative, and just I feel like whenever she wants to learn how to do anything, she just like masters it immediately. She's learning how to code right now.
What? My coding stopped at like MySpace.
Oh my gosh! Break! Put in your music and your playlist.
I wasn't really good at it back then.
Oh my gosh! I lost that skill.
But Leanna is like our fucking girl. She like holds us together.
Yeah.
She's our event coordinator, but she also has been like project managing us the last couple months. She really, I feel like, helped us just reel everything in with the business. She's always on us about just tightening absolutely everything up.
And like setting goals and really figuring out, planning ahead and really figuring out where we want to take this and what we want to make out of it. So she's our COO.
Yeah.
And she's that. And
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, she's great. She works on getting new clients. She works on events and sponsorships and all sorts of stuff. So
that's a lot. That's awesome. You guys have a really awesome team. I know everybody wants to like know you guys, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Ladies of Paradise. Where did Ladies of Paradise even come from? Like the name.
The name actually came from. It's really cool too because it's kind of like full circle how we're like very like women empowerment and support women, because the name Ladies of Paradise came from Lake Atitlan, which is in Guatemala. Okay. And there's like these little women there, and they're just like a very matriarchal community, and they just take care of their whole families, and they wear these like beautiful textiles. And Harley got to come out to Guatemala with me actually and like see everything. And then that was cool too, because when we went out there, we did this like give back thing. We made like all these gift bags to give to the children and stuff, and so it was cool because Ladies of Paradise, that was them. So the Paradise was this beautiful lake, and they're the ladies who kind of take care of their families, and you see them all over the town, little towns there, So then, I mean, now we're just very, we're a very women supportive community, and we like to give back and help people too. So I feel like it's all
awesome.
Full circle.
So beautiful. I love that.
It really is.
Women are awesome. We think about that stuff.
Women are incredible.
What would you say your core values are of Ladies of Paradise?
I mean, supporting women and lifting up women is huge for us. We really, really are a collaborative brand. We don't believe in competition, really. We think there's enough room for all of us to do everything, and so that's never bad talking people, putting people down, trying to be really open-minded and supportive of everyone that's around us, whether you agree with them exactly on everything. Yeah, I feel like those are two of our really main.
Yeah, and I would say also to eliminate the stigma of what it is to be a productive a cannabis consumer, I would say, and to break down the barriers of old traditional ways of advertising cannabis, and really making this more for everybody, and showing that a cannabis consumer doesn't have to be a bikini wearing 6-inch heel girl with the bong. It's there are people who are like normal or, you know,
whatever kind of person.
Whatever kind of woman, whatever kind of person. That's really awesome. That actually brings me to my next question. I love breaking stigmas too. I love challenging the patriarch. I love challenging things that, you know, normally a woman won't be able to do. Asian woman won't be able to do. All these things. What's your favorite stigma to challenge with Ladies of Paradise?
Just being a woman for me.
I would say that that's like pleasantly surprised me is like creating this community of women where like we're so nice to girls and like so welcoming, and that Harley and I both came from the fashion industry where girls can be really rude and you know, catty and just very competitive. You know, a cool girl walks into the room, who's that? It's like we want to be the complete opposite. You know, we want to be like, hey, who are you? Let's be friends. And so I would say that that would be mine, is just really, you know, breaking into that and like showing girls that like we can be nice to each other. We don't have to be rude to each other.
Now. I feel like, because I'm the one who's like producing a lot of our content that goes out to these like clients, and for me I feel like it is like a struggle proving yourself, like as like being young and being a woman, like proving that like, hey, I can produce equally as good work as like these guys that have been here for a while. Like, please just give me a chance. But a lot of guys who own these companies are like just look down on you kind of and they'll view me as like an influencer and not as a photographer.
Oh, my heart right now. I totally understand that.
And I'm like, dude, that's like literally not what I even do. Like, So I
think that really resonates with me. I tried the fashion industry a couple years ago and kind of felt the same way. I felt like I couldn't measure up. And I felt like I was bringing myself down or discouraging myself because I was trying to fit in so hard. And I'm like, that's not me. Fitting in is not something that I've always wanted to do because I'm so weird. We're all so weird.
For sure.
Which is why I love Ladies of Paradise. I just came here and did my thing and made so many friends. And but yeah, I think like being in your 20s and 30s, just trying to figure out your life. And then having to go against, you know, all these stigmas, also challenging your identity and trying to make friends. Like, it's already so hard.
For sure.
Do this together.
Exactly. Why can't we all be nice to each other?
And I think that is the most surprising thing, is when somebody is so nice to you, it's kind of like, wait a second, that's refreshing.
For sure.
I can be myself around this person and actually progress.
Agreed.
That's awesome. What kinds of obstacles did you guys face when you were just starting Ladies of Paradise?
I would say there wasn't a lot out there of like people like similar to what we were doing. Like we tried to, I mean, like when we were starting off and like switching over to shooting on cannabis farms and like trying to get content for cannabis, there was like a big struggle of like just of other stuff out there. Not, I mean, you know, being like the kind of not like the first people to do it, but just to like kind of pave our own way. I would say. I don't know, it was just there wasn't that much out there, and so we had to kind of like figure out what we wanted to do in our own way, but which was also cool because we brought like our own like specific style and like you know, different vibe to the cannabis industry. But yeah, there just wasn't a big community of us out there doing this, so now it's grown a lot.
It's totally grown. I think you guys definitely pioneered that side of the style. Women lead fashion. What does that even mean? Like, tell me more about that. I love that mantra.
I feel like it was just like, this is what we're about, and we're just gonna like lay it out there. You know?
I have that little lighter you guys gave me. Bag. I was like, oh my gosh, it has little cookie sticky thing.
Dude, the toker pokers are so awesome.
I love it.
They're so amazing. I just want them to make a keychain so I won't like stop losing them.
What would you say your defining moments were? Like, as you were starting, what made or break some of the movements going forward?
I mean, this isn't really necessarily at the very beginning, but the most defining moment for me was opening the store and like having like that day where there was like it was incredible, like so packed in here, it was out of control, and like we packed like the entire space upstairs too, and everyone was like so supportive, and like just like hearing all these different people, I don't know, like tell us like how we made them feel, which was like the biggest thing, like feeling like I felt so nervous in all these situations, and now I come here and I feel so comfortable, and like I've met so many friends through you guys, and like that, I feel like that was, I mean, my like absolute favorite day that we had.
I would say from the beginning too, because when we did start talking about like switching over the brand to like focus on cannabis, it was like very big change to go from just fashion to like weed, and I didn't think a lot of people would understand it really. And I was like, is this gonna work? And then we got invited to Humboldt to go to see the Grow Sisters are like this team of sisters out in Humboldt, and they've been growing for like their families have for generations. And they had a big sleepover party, and they invited us, and it was like this big Women of Weed sleepover, and we were just like, oh my god, like they're inviting us, like we're not, like we just started doing this, we're like, you know, they're gonna like, are they gonna like, what are they gonna think about us? And then we ended up going there, and like,
and we showed up with like bins of wigs and crazy ass clothing,
and they loved it. And we all played dress up and like and all this stuff, and had an amazing time. But then we bonded with the girls and talked to them, and like realized that like we brought a lot to the table. Like, you know, California wasn't recreational legal at the time, and we were, and so you know, with us having like dispensary experience and like, you know, going rec and like, you know, everyone was asking us a million questions about it, and like we were just like, hey, we actually have some clout in this industry, and you know a thing or two. And so we met a lot of people there that like we're still friends with to this day, and I think that was like a really defining moment for both of us. I remember we were like we stayed up all night at night, like everyone was sleeping, we're like,
girl, like we're onto something. Like everyone loves us.
Like, this is awesome.
Like all these women are so amazing. Like,
I know, like there's like other people sleeping in the room. We're like tossing into like shh. We're
It's really onto something. Dude, that's so awesome.
We really like you.
I remember the first time I even heard about you guys, I was at Jeffrey's joint, and I got to put on a wig. And I was like, take pictures. I was like, am I doing this right? Like, oh my gosh.
That was the first time I heard of you too. Yeah. I remember all those photos. I was like,
I remember you were wearing that teal wig.
And I was like, I think I might buy this wig. It was really cool. Oh, like CBD dreaming. That's
from Jeffrey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just saw that. That's cute. But yeah, that's really awesome just to bring people together and find out that you're doing something right, that you're putting your identity out there and people are taking it on, like they love you guys.
Absolutely. And like with those, we haven't been doing them, I mean, we haven't done a party actually in almost 6 months here, which is so crazy, but when we were doing like photo sets, it was just so amazing to like watch all these women just like light up that normally wouldn't have, you know, had a photographer shooting them, and just like one-on-one. It's a really like cool thing if you can like make a person that is really nervous to get in front of a camera feel really comfortable and leave the situation like feeling really good about themselves.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
It's really nice.
I feel like a lot of your events bring girls together, make them more confident.
Totally.
But also, I want to comment on the girls that you guys have on your shoots. They're all of different colors, of different sizes, of different styles. Like, I've done a couple shoots with Keisha, and like, I just had so much fun. You know,
really
like I felt like I'm beautiful too, and I don't have to compare myself to what I see on Instagram or what I see in the other brands.
We actually just recently had our first casting call, and kind of the point of this was that we don't want to like ever go through like modeling agencies where there's a standard of beauty where you have to be a certain weight or a certain whatever. We like wanted to reach out to the community, like, who wants to model? Like, who wants to do this, you know? Oh girl, we got you. Yeah, like, you know, we're open to all these, like, everyone is so beautiful. Everyone just has like their different vibe and different style, and like it's stupid to like exclude those people because they don't look like someone else. And so that's been like a really important thing to us, and something we really like push on our clients as we take them on. Is like, you should not just be like promoting one type of person. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like,
exactly. You want your brand to be out there for everybody.
Exactly.
And that kind of just goes back to like the Bond girl like aesthetic. Like, not everybody looks like that, and then like not everybody is a model. You know, like we're all just regular people like smoking weed too. So it's like,
not everybody smokes out of a bong.
Yeah, no, totally.
Some people just take tinctures.
Some people take tinctures. Some people, you know, there's all different kinds. That's why I love the cannabis world. It's a little bit for everybody.
Totally.
We're going to talk about growth a little bit. In what ways have you seen a lot of improvements and growth in your business and your personal life as you started mothering this company?
And that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I will start by saying, and I was talking about this the other day in a podcast with you, Harley, just that like since we've done this, like I would say that this has been like the most authentic version of our brand ever, because this is just like us being our true selves and like showing like our true identities and like not hiding anything or keeping anything back. But I would say, like, Harley, you've grown so much, like, as a photographer and just like as
thanks, girl.
Just we were talking about how just like making women feel good and just like learning, just learning how to do things on your own, like, really just makes you grow fast too, and like not saying no to things and just taking new things on has really, I think, just like made all of us grow, but you specifically.
Aww. Nice.
I'm telling you, having Alicia on the team, I have really bad ADHD, and it's really, really hard for me to learn things. Like, it's just, it's so hard, and like, I will try to like look at YouTube videos, and it, like, I can't even look at it for a second. So having Alicia, our graphic designer, anytime I'm having a struggle with anything, she comes out and like just works with me right then, and then I learn it, and then it's good. And so having her around has like been so awesome. See this whole everyone working together, everybody
teamwork makes the dream work.
I remember when we interviewed her, she was like, and my old job, she's like, if anyone couldn't get anything done, they would be like, Alicia will do it. And like, I remembered that, and like, it's so true, because like, if anyone needs help, she'll find a way to figure it out. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think something that has happened recently was like our growth, which I think it's like not necessarily business, but I feel like for a while at the beginning, we were like running ourselves like dead, putting like every single ounce of our energy into Ladies of Paradise, like letting like every other relationship in our lives like didn't matter as much. We were just like me and Jade like trucking along so hard, like we just couldn't be distracted by anything else. And I feel like through the last year and a half, the last like couple months, we're like getting back into some balance, which I feel like is really awesome. And like, taking care of ourselves and like being healthier and not needing to go,
every festival,
every single
event,
thing, all the time. And I think that that's been like a really big growth thing for us in the last couple months. Is that
I think that's something our demographic can really relate to, because I feel like if you're not. Sometimes I feel guilty if I'm not always hustling. Totally. I feel like, oh man, I'm taking a day off. And like the other day, my boyfriend and I sat at home for a day because we had nothing to do. It was snowing. Yeah. I took advantage of that, and we're like, we feel like we could have been doing something, but it's okay. Totally. It's okay that you don't have to keep grinding all day, every day. But when you do, you're grinding.
It's such a weird thing. Our society has it like so twisted right now, where it's just like being successful and having a lot of money is like the most important thing, and it's like having your own personal success and just like who you are that has nothing to do with like money or success is like equally as successful.
Yeah. How do you guys make the decision to not participate in some things to release some more time for yourself?
I don't know. I mean, it just all depends on like what's going on. Yeah, like if we're both here. I mean, we both go back and forth to Southern Oregon a lot, and so I mean, we both have been spending more time in Southern Oregon than last.
And that's what's great about having a team too, because it, while we do want to like have more time for ourselves, it was Harley and I like doing all these things a million miles a minute, and so having a team now, it's like, hey, who wants to go to this event on this Thursday? There's this future cannabis event. Like, who wants to go? Like, someone from our team should go, and then and two girls will go, and like just spreading ourselves out instead of us just like having to always think that we need to like be there as a face of Ladies of Paradise or something. It's like everyone knows who our team is at this point.
That's awesome.
And
so, where do you guys see Ladies of Paradise in 5 years?
Well, we've been building our 5-year plan.
Yes.
So this year is huge for product development for us. We're launching Lady J's this Thursday. It's our first cannabis line, available in Oregon for now. And then that's part of our plan. We want to take it to other states. California would be huge for us. Nevada, all the recreational states. And then we're also launching Lady J's CBD version, so we'll sell those in store. And then with the passing of the Farm Bill, we'll be able to sell those across the U.S. So they'll be available online, and then we want to work with maybe a distributor to get them, nationally. So we're also teaming up with other brands as well for cannabis lines. White label extracts is someone we're going to be working with this summer. And then, we just want to continue co-branding and working together with other lines.
Yeah.
And I think that we really want to be a part of showing all the different countries and states.
Well, yeah, let's see what you want to do
Yeah,
for
for
world.
sure. I know, Canada, we gotta get up there. But showing them like what Portland has to offer in the community sense, and like showing people working together is really key. And like, I don't know, just kind of being a, what's the word? Like, to guide people. I don't know.
A light.
But to be a light.
A light in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, and just showing people that the way that we do things is a really like solid way of doing things, basically.
Yeah.
And so I really want to help a lot of brands that are launching we really want to start working in New York a lot, and just helping brands with their voice and, you know, not over sexualizing women and doing all the things.
Hell yeah.
And also taking our store to hopefully other states as well. We just did a big pop-up in New York City, a CBD pop-up, and just like the energy there and the like yearning for knowledge was just like really awesome. Yeah, we did really well, and so we're like thinking about maybe a store in New York or a store in Denver, you know, just different cities and stuff.
Store in New York, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be awesome. I can see you guys everywhere just because your style is so unique, your identity is so unique, and it's so inclusive, which I think is super important. Thank you guys so much for being on my show.
Yeah.
My very first #YoungProInspo. Where can my viewers find you guys?
You can find us on one of our 4 Instagrams. Our main one is at Ladies of Paradise.
Okay.
Our store Instagram is at Ladies of Paradise Shop. Our events page is at Ladies of Paradise Events. And our Lady J's is at Smoke Lady J's. All on Instagram. Still working on our other forms of social media there, but Instagram's our main girl.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. That's a wrap.
I was just thinking about this, and then I went to high five, and you looked away. My bitch match socks. Oh, I love it. Bitch match socks are lucky. Did you know that? Oh, that must be the luckiest bitch. I always